Hi, everybody. Well, I just want to say hello. This is me, Samantha Villa Gomez, here in Houston, Texas. I hope y'all can see me. I hope I'm coming in clear. Is the lighting okay? Right now here in town, from what I can see, it's already going to be 9:48. However you want to see it, and it's Friday. Oh my God, Friday the 11th. And those of y'all that are familiar with me, I am 53, Hispanic, male to female, post-op since 1992, June. And I had my surgery in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I live here in my hometown of Houston, Texas. Yes, this is 100% all me, and I'm able to visit with y'all comfortably in the confines of my little apartment here, and I'm all too happy and very, very optimistic, and so to speak. Can't complain. I was hoping that you nice people would see fit to kind of follow me if y'all want to. I mean, I'm open for questions, being that I am an older generation, fully functional uh, lady now, since 1992. And I transgendered completely in 1982, and my surgery was in 1992. And so you do the arithmetic, y'all figure it out. Um, went to a couple of meetings in Galveston back in the 80s, the early 80s, and like I said, 82. And that was with another human sexuality doctor by the name of Dr. Alice Webb. Yeah, back in the then that's how that nice doctor recommended me to the other doctor in Minneapolis. And that's how I wound up north. Oh, there we go. And that's how I managed, because it started out with a little group that we had on Broadway Street in Galveston Island. And that was all the rage. And I wasn't, just my drag was, it was more intense. You got to see my point of view, that what I considered at that time was considered drag. The other queens at the bar, they would say, that's not your drag, that's your regular clothes, because I was over here doing at that time, it was Lady Diana. So she was all the rage. Of course, Hammer Time and all that. And uh, Madonna was was on the rage also. But my thing was, I was really into Princess Diana. I mean, her outfit back in them days, it was hats and bright whites with swirly yellows and beautiful, elegant, nice fabric gowns. And I was wearing size 8, size 9 dress, the whole thing, So the queens, they would say that that's not my drag, that was my clothes. They already knew it, that they saw it coming down the road. And so that was then. This is now. I had a moment of melancholy today for some odd, crazy, oddball reason. Well, with Mother's Day being all, I was at Mom's house visiting with her, and we went down memory lane. We talked about Granny and how my grandmother on my mom's side, how they immigrated from Mexico, and how my fond memories, how she did speak English, not fluently. They worked on Sugarland here on a farm up until 1947. Then my mom, then and my grandparents, they moved to Houston here down the road here, and that's how that came to be. But Granny, on my mom's side, she spoke broken English. She was not one of them type that said, "No, speak English." Oh no, honey, that little old lady, she wasn't no little like me. She was a big heifer, honey, big, big, strong gal. Kind of worked out there in the farm, and dark as the ace of space, burnt to crisp. I mean, you know how that goes. And she would stand up at the Woolworths counter and put the order of food in. And she would tell them in English, "Two, please." Very fluent, very polite. And they would respond. Of course, these were the hickabilly, white girls. And they would say right away, they would jump and respond very nicely. And then she would say to punch. At that time there was a Hawaiian punch, and very sweet, very touched. I have them very sweet, kind memories. And there was at the Woolworth store. And then going downtown to the rodeo. Many a time she took me downtown to the rodeo. Even we would ride the bus, and she would stand there. And I wasn't transgendering then. I'll get to that in a minute. How she reacted to me after the surgery. She was so sweet. Even prior to my surgery, she was very sweet. She would let me curl up to her on her couch. Just an all-out, real sweet, grandmotherly grandmother. I mean, very, very nice. And let me put her little powder on my face and so forth. Even though I hadn't transitioned, but she was a very sweet, where I could just lay my head on her shoulder and sit in Granny's kitchen, and oh, some lovable, lovable memories, and and she would give me the glass and the jar of Tang. It came in a jar back in them days, Tang. And then she would roll out. She had her flour, and not a little canister. It was a big 5-gallon metal canister, because we're going back a number of years. We're going back to what, 1972, 74, back in them days. Yeah. So I mean, they didn't have, where you could go down the road here to any supermarket and buy, ready-made flour tortillas. Back in them days, honey, the Mexicanos, we had to, they rolled them out right then and there. And Granny was already up in age. She was standing there at the counter and mix that flour and all that. I don't roll out the tortillas. My own personal self, I'll roll out the biscuits. I'll do drop biscuits, mix the waffle batter, mix the pancake batter. But rolling tortillas, not this girl. I do the bread thing. I know how to do the yeast and all that. I learned that living up north in Minnesota. So that's my thing. Not, no, I don't, Oh, I'm in good health. I'm strong, as you can see, and I got a clean bill of health, as a matter of fact, this week. So I'm very happy about that. They said it politely. They go, for being with your frame, FRAM. They didn't say you're fat. They were kind. They were sweet. They were considerate. But yeah, they were kind, and they even took me off of the cholesterol medicine because I'm exercising. I walk the equivalent of almost 3 miles in a 7-day week. They tallied it up. So that's 3 miles in a 7-day week. That's hopping along pretty good. And it got me off of the cholesterol meds. So far, so good. No diabetes, and I eat. I make my buttermilk pies. I make my casserole. Speaking of which, I might do something tomorrow, or in the morning. Sometimes I even have croissants. I get them over here at the local store. That I do buy, and then I get my caviar from the internet, $10 a jar, real caviar, red caviar. Mix a little of that with some cream cheese on the croissant. I like that. I'm known, yeah. I splurge. I don't mind. Come this far in life, I have some good, my little yum yums that I like to enjoy. I'm in the I'm in the market for a little dog so I can entertain us here. That way I can cuddle the dog and show it to y'all, and everybody will ooh and ah. I don't want no big lassie dog. I want a little barky dog, one that can fit in my Kohan purse. Nah, I can't be no Paris Hilton, but I want a little barky dog that'll fit in my purse and that can go with me on the bus line. That way we can go barking along and so forth. And it's no big deal. Any questions out there in TV land? No, not yet. Okay, well, I guess so. So I had a good bill of health, live alone, no dudes, I'm a sexually, if I even do go there, but it's not a thing these days, going on 3 years now. It's not a thing. Live alone, like I say, there ain't no, we call it down here, pelao, lurking around, wanting to steal my thunder, honey. That everybody wants to be a ham. Especially an old broad like me, honey. They'll horn in on my action like crazy. Some of these lecherous men here. I'm gonna open up my own little girly girl man hater club. That's what I'll call it. The girly girl man hater club. Them wicked, evil, sinful men. No good bastards. Unless they come along with bearing gifts and tidings. Perhaps. We'll see. Nice bottle of scotch. Or a good bottle of champagne. I'll take the cheap stuff too. That way I can mix it with some orange juice. Or just orange juice and Southern Comfort. Orange juice and Galliano and some vodka. That sounds fun. Right, boys and girls? Now, I don't want to hear about y'all over here drinking for stupefying purposes. It's just strictly to be sociable and enhance our looks, under the veil of a good stupefying mind-bending drink. We might even look a little bit more pretty. Oh, yeah. So other than that, I'm over here looking at my mail here. Oh boy, let's talk about the missions. They all want a handout. You know how that goes. So where's some of you kids from? Here's a cutie. Look at this. This is from the Oblates Spiritual Enrollment Card enclosed. Monsignor. Oblates, missionary Oblates. Mary Immaculate. Oh, very powerful. What do you think? It's a pretty one. Isn't that lovely? You got to keep in mind, I'm a soft touch when it comes to goodies like this. I'm a real soft touch. Of course, I'm a soft touch with this wigs too, hon. I like with that. How that goes. I was looking at some of the other transgender type channels. I often wonder. I see two girls come out. I gotta be politically correct. Whatever. So show them some respect. Now, a broad like me, you heard me right. That's been through it. Not going through all the gruesome details. Some of these girls are a little bit older than me. Like Bruce Jenner's age. You know what's going through my head. Now, back in 1978, I was making my way. Oh, no. I just didn't have it in me. I just wasn't sexy enough, I guess. I just didn't dig it, Didn't desire a little girlfriend or nothing like that, Just not this one, honey. I just didn't. Dear Ms. Villagomez, thank you for your participation in the payment plan agreement to resolve your past due balance, which I did. I paid it off in full. They're all too happy. Little thank you letter. And they even wrote it in Spanish. Well, we'll see how that goes. That was some good money. I'll tell you that much. That would have been for my le wig. You like the way the bang falls in the front? I do. Oh, here's another little group. Now, this one I do like. Yes. Let's see what kind of fun stuff. Now, these guys, they're really good. I like them. Oh, it's a Father's Day card. Gang, I'm going to tell you, kids, I was telling my mom today because it's Mother's Day weekend. You know, Mom, I told her. Well, we looked up at the picture of Dad. I made my peace with Dad long before he kicked the bucket in 2002. I made my peace with the old buzzard about 1995, to be exact. It was after a weekend retreat, and I had all kinds of issues growing up, etc. Abandonment, blame, 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 all of that crapola. I made my peace with him. I loved him. He was my dad, my real pops. Not because I'm melancholy, but he told me he was my father. He said, Sam, Samantha, I knew you when you were spitting my pants. He used a different verb back then, the pronoun. He told me he was a good guy. He was a good guy. And then about 2001, he danced with me. We were in Minneapolis at a nice little restaurant called Nice on Hennepin. Danced a few polkas, and I was decked out. I had my hair in the same style, but it was darker. And he asked me to dance. He took my hand, led me on the floor. Old school. I'm glad I made my peace, boys and girls. Let me tell you, sweet child of God. I bet you that would have been eating my lunch if had not. Now, the foolishness that I put myself through because of my, sex change and all of that, I don't give a rat's ass. I can say whatever word. It's my show. I did what I did, and it is what it is. A sex change. All this gender, whatever. No, no, no. Gender reassignment surgery, et cetera, whatever, So, he was a good guy. He taught me how to drink. He said, Sam, you're going to need to know how to do this, kid. I go, why? Well, you'll thank me later. Little did I know. He didn't teach me how to fix a car, change the oil. My mom taught me how to do budgets. You see, the lights are still on. The rent's paid. I'm alone. Mom taught me a few things. I still carry them through. As for my father, learning how to drink, no regrets there either. You see how I still like to groove on a good mixed drink? All my rowdy friends, they're always, keep in touch with me. But of course, I don't keep them here. No. I already know my rowdy friends. I used to be one of them too. Be outlandish. But they're good people. Well, kids, I don't want to occupy your time. Now, if y'all have any questions, if y'all want to visit with me, I already told y'all where to see the pictures of me when I was a guy before I did my surgery. That's on the Facebook. And Samantha Villa Gomez, the same name here. And I'll be sure and keep a little, when y'all puts in the friend request, even if it's just for a few days, so y'all can snoop around and see, how I looked and so